I grew up making games, so I wanted to make a career out of that. Shawnee being a small school was the thing that drew me to it. Shawnee is nationally ranked in the Princeton list for game design. A lot of the professors own their own businesses. That kind of prompted me to start my own business. I started a game studio. I don't think that would have been possible if the school were bigger, and Shawnee put that all together for me. I'm Dalton, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Please visit discover.shawnee.edu.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 4 of Shawnee State's League of Legends team. They will be playing St. Louis University, and I am here with our guest commentator for today, Finnick.
What's up, Turtle Strike? How's it going?
It's going good. We're all prepared and ready for the game. We will be getting to pick and ban shortly, and we will come back when that starts.
I grew up making games, so I wanted to make a career out of that. Shawnee being a small school was the thing that drew me to it. Shawnee is nationally ranked in the Princeton list for game design. A lot of the professors own their own businesses. That kind of prompted me to start my own business. I started a game studio. I don't think that would have been possible if the school were bigger, and Shawnee put that all together for me. I'm Dalton, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Please visit discover.shawnee.edu.
Welcome, everybody, to Shawnee State University playing St. Louis University. The first ban goes to Shawnee State. It's going to be Nunu. What will St. Louis ban? And Shen. Not a bad ban. I hate playing in Shen. Sorry about that, folks. Ooh. So a Lilia ban on the side of SSU and also a Irelia ban. St. Louis is going to ban out Rel and Seraphine. Two support bans coming out. Ivan being picked on the side of SSU. Or will they pick in response? Kaisa. Bottom lane getting picked early on the side of St. Louis. Going to be paired with Lulu, a good combination. What will Jer Bear pick in response? Looks like it's going to be the Misfortune pick. I think we all know where the Misfortune pick's going to go. Scion also getting picked up. Gangplank getting picked up. Interesting. Back into the... Now we're into the second round of bans. What will St. Louis ban? Oriana ban. It's the mid lane. What will SSU ban in response? Yon. Another mid lane ban. I'm so excited to see what the last 4 picks are going to be. Gragas ban. Invictor ban. On the side of SSU. All right. The last few picks are up next, and then we're going to have a short break, and then we're going to get into the game. Yasuo pick. Interesting. We're going to lock in the Ziggs for SSU. Ziggs is a pretty good choice here. Could go against either Gangplank or Yasuo. Good options versus both opponents. Nami on the side of SSU. Good support pick. Nami and Lulu both have pretty good pick rates. And then the Karthus as well, coming out on the side of St. Louis. And indeed, Misfortune did go where we thought it was going to go. I'm interested to see the Karthus jungle. It's going to be Gangplank top lane versus Scion. I couldn't tell you which way that matchup goes either way, but Ivern versus Karthus in the jungle should be pretty interesting. Yasuo and Ziggs, kind of expected that one to happen. Kaisa, Misfortune, and Nami and Lulu. 8 seconds till a few seconds till we go to break. See you when we get in the game.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're up for this week number 4 game. We're about to get into game 1 here. A little thing going off the picks and bans, and we saw some interesting picks out onto their side because they haven't shown Gameplank or Yasuo so far. So those are very surprising picks to see, and the Yasuo is very unconventional in the current meta.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of it.
Yeah. So when we're looking into this game here, it's going to be very much focused around that bot lane and around in the mid lane. They're going to try to get the kills on Kaisa and Yasuo and try to snowball them into a mid game. So there should be a decent amount of action in those 2 lanes. And so the Karthus is kind of surprised on their half. And so I'm going to give us the favor here because we have a bit more well-rounded comp for team fighting, skirmishes, and all that. And their comp is jumbled mess and all over the place.
I mean, the global ultimates are one thing that we got to be, wary of at all times, though. They could come out any moment once we hit that level 6 mark.
Exactly. That is a thing to worry about. So they're probably going to try to go into the bot lane. They're going to try to use Karthus or GP ult. And so doing that is going to be, they're going to try to probably look for a lot of bot lane dives because the Misfortune and Nami is kind of a safe lane, but is also very susceptible to ganks or dives because of the low mobility.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good point of contention. I'm not expecting to see any action early though.
No, it should be pretty slow. But once level 6 hits, things are going to start moving quick.
Yeah, that's exactly. As soon as they hit those 6 marks, we're going to be seeing fights. It's going to be very interesting to see dragons, though, because the dragon control is going to be a very awkward thing in this game, simply because neither of the junglers can do dragon too early. Karthus needs to get level 5 and his first back off and have prio because he gets very low taking the early dragon. So we probably will see a fight around that first dragon. And we're getting into game here very shortly.
I would hope to see that Ivern getting a little bit more jungle control and a lot more ganks off early on than the Karthus. Maybe push that early lead for SSU.
Yep, that's probably what's going to end up happening in this game is that it's going to be Ivern is going to try to control this early game and he's going to try to get a big tempo lead and advantage and try to snowball that into mid-game fights. And he does have pretty good setup. Top lane, Gameplank's a little awkward to gank, but they do have knockups and slows, so that can help lock him down. But the only contention I'm going to say we're going to be seeing is probably from either bot lane or top lanes where we're going to see most of the ganks this game.
I can disagree with you. Looks like St. Louis is looking for a little bit of early action.
Yeah, they're going to probably, most likely, we're probably going to see a 5-point here because both teams are very terrible with invade. But
this might be a kill on the Jerbear. Yeah, so it did take Ignite. Gonna get stunned up. It's deep. Ignite comes out. There goes Ivern. Yasuo goes down. In response.
I need to catch up real quick. My thing was all behind. Yeah, and it does look like we got a very early kill. Onto the Misfortune is a very big proponent of the thing with the first blood. Was it who got the first blood?
Oh no.
It looks like it was the Yasuo.
Yeah, the Yasuo got the first blood.
So with Yasuo getting the first blood, that is a little dangerous for SSU, and looks like they're going to go for a cheese here into a level 1. It looks like they're just going to put some early pressure on, get the early damage, try to set up their lane for success early. Since they're going to be able to push into St. Louis here because the Karthus did go towards the top side of the map. And you see early trades on the Yasuo getting a little early level 2. And that's gonna be it's scary because both the main orientation, like main carries of these two comps got kills, and so we're gonna see a lot of action to be play out with those. As we can see that the Yasuo's gonna go for an early ward, spot out the Ivern, start trade on him, and this is very risky because Germany does not have flash. But it shouldn't amount to anything really. They should just back out. Oh, he got the knockup, so he actually might be able to go in for the kill here, and it looks like he is going to. Exactly, he's gonna. And the Karthus actually flash forward to pick up the kill, and so this is very dangerous for SSU because now Karthus is gonna take those camps that Ivern set up, and it's gonna put him very far behind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and because Ivern wasn't able to pick up his blue buff, so they're gonna look to try to stop the Karthus from getting a blue buff, because if he's able to take that away, Ivern's gonna fall super far behind and basically have to concede the early game.
Oh, we're so close. Down in the bot lane, we do have some trading going on though.
Yeah, it does look like that blue buff did go over to the Karthus. This is really bad for SSU.
Yasuo might go down in the mid lane. The flash from Humble Gamer to stay alive, and auto onto Yasuo will take him out.
And it looks like this game's going to be very high-packed and high-tension, because a lot of I would call that like a blunder on the Yasuo's part. He doesn't have to worry about going so hard onto the Ziggs early, because he's gotten the kills and he was able to get early damage. So getting that trade kill over is very massive on his behalf. And when we're looking through this game here, might see a solo kill onto Arctic, but it looks like the GP will just fall in return. And And Sion already picked up most of the wave there, so that kill was really as the blunders. We see a fight in the mid lane, just gonna disengage with that satchel charge. But I don't know why he went for that top lane dive, because now he exposed himself to Ivern ganks burning his flash like that. And so maybe we can see Jerbear trying to take some pressure back by going through that top lane more. But it's probably going to settle down now, and looking out, we can see that there is small CS leads in the top side of the map, with top, jungle, and mid being able to farm a lot more effectively because they have the advantage in the early game. But we're going to see that come more back into control with the Ziggs later on. And Karthus is just going to sit there and try to power farm till 6. So I would like to be able to see if Humble or the Ivern. Oh, then is there engage on the mid lane? Jeremy there for the gank, as they're gonna end up picking this kill up on the Yasuo most likely, but he's gonna look to get a trade kill actually.
Uses the Ignite.
He potentially could get a double kill here, and he does. That is very bad for SSU. They try to force a little too much and got separated. That Yasuo had a beautiful wind wall, stuffing out most of the because most of their damage comes from their abilities. So playing around that wind wall was allowed them to get those 2 kills, and this is looking very dangerous for SSU because now they're LSU is going to be able to use the pressure Yasuo has built up in the mid lane, and they're going to try to get the dragon.
Things are getting spicy in the bottom lane. Lulu at half HP. So Nami took Guardian, which is really good against this lane where they want to poke, and it mitigates the chip damage that Mitch is going to take, and Misfortune's Misfortune's going to take.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's really hard to talk about Mitch here because his name's Mitch Fortune, and he just happens to be on Misfortune, so on one of his signature champs here. As we can see a trade going on the top lane, we're gonna probably just see it back out. Nothing too big is gonna probably come from this trade. They're just gonna a little poke around real quick because GP is very good into Sion, helping with the scaling, and it's gonna be Jerbear needs to look for a ganks, or he needs to look for ways back in this game because he's falling very far behind in levels to this Karthus. As we might see a 2v2 in the top lane as the Flash's gangplank is getting ganked by the Ivern. He does hit 6, which could help him stall out for Karthus to get there. As he looks, he's gonna try to get a trade kill onto the GP or onto the Scion, and GP gets out safely and does not pick up the kill. So
Ooh.
SSU is continuing. There's a fight in the mid lane. Humble's gonna go down here most likely, as the Yasuo is starting to kind of snowball a bit. Now this is the one big issue that there is with their game, as they're actually going to look to try to turn around and maybe pick up 2 kills here. The GP is going to go down, and Karthus is out of mana and stuck in the back of the pit. So it looks like SSU will stop some of LSU's momentum by picking up a double kill here. Yasuo did roam up, but this play should disperse and nothing happened. As it looks like there was a trade in the bot lane, but no summoners spells were burned, so nothing too important happened there. Now that's really good for them to get 2 kills on, but they ended up going onto the Scion, and the kills on LSU's part are going onto their Yasuo, the one their mid-game carries.
Yasuo is level 8. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, and he does have a. I'm gonna look at Humble's XP here real quick, and it looks like Humble is only halfway to level 7, so Yasuo's XP lead is greatly going to help stuff out this game, as they're actually going to look like they might do a lane swap here, or GP might just be holding the lane for the Yasuo, which I think it's the latter. He's just holding the lane for him.
Yeah. Oh, but he might go in on Humble here.
He's just looking to get a couple trade patterns. He might actually go down here because he is flashless, but Orange was able to. But Humble is getting engaged on by the Yasuo, and the Yasuo is going to pick up another kill. And this is a danger side for SSU because the only real way LSU was going to be able to combat in this game is if they were able to get early leads in that mid lane or that bot lane. And bot lane is relatively just even, and this Yasuo is starting to snowball out of control.
Looks like they're going to go for the dragon.
I was just about to say that. Dragon into the mid lane because of the push in bot lane and the fact that there was able to be another solo kill in the mid lane. And so going into these next couple minutes, it's going to be SSU needs to start getting some of their resources and slow the pace of this game down. Because if they keep going at this pace, they're just going to end up losing the fact of the matter. Because right now, LSU has a lot of resources and tools at their disposal that SSU just doesn't have because they're losing in levels in other experienced games. Because Jeremy is falling, or Jerbear is falling very behind in the jungle right now to this Karthus. And Karthus is one of those champions that if he is left alone and doesn't have to worry about his lanes being behind or the other jungler causing problems, it's going to be very easy for him to scale into the mid game and late game and become a real problem.
Oh yeah, we're hitting that time point where, like you were talking about, where it's going to get very serious very quickly for SSU. They need a momentum shift in some way. But they have to be very careful about how they gain that lead, how they gain that shift in tempo.
Yes, because in this current game state, it is starting to go into the favor of LSU even more because they're starting to be able to take the pressure that's in the top and mid lane from the kills they ended up getting, and they're going to try to convert that into a Rift Herald. And this is a very good Rift Herald too, because they even have an early rotate from the Lulu. And so this should just go right over to SLU, but it looks like Jerbear is going to try to chase the Karthus off of it, but the Yasuo is already onto the Humble Gamer, and they should just disengage here, and Humble should be fine. Have to burn Flash though, as there's an engage back in there on the top lane. But it looks like everything's going to just go down, and Humble did lose his Flash in the process, which is going to expose him more to this Yasuo, who's already shown that he is able to punish oversteps that the Humble Gamer has been doing.
Jerbear dropping a bush to support. They did manage to stop the Scuttle Crab though.
Yeah, preventing the Rift Herald there was a very big portion of the I know you're unfamiliar. It's fine. to have
Yeah.
those little slip-ups.
Hey, it's been a while.
Hey, you know, the Rift Herald is just one big skull crab, so I mean,
Right?
so it's all fine there. But with how this game is starting to shape up, is that stopping that Rift Herald does allow them to get some momentum back, as Jerbear is looking to set up a lane game with the little bit of Daisy he has left. But smartly enough, SLU is just not giving them any chances, letting the wave follow since they do not know where this Ivern could be at. It looks like they might force it here. Humble in position with his R. But SLU is just going to back off and not give him the opportunity. Yasuo actually uses the Raptors to E over the wall, trying to get little cheeky trades.
He's hunting for it. He
Oh,
hits
and
it. There comes the ult and the Gangplank ult, and Karthus uses ult as well.
As
So
you can
that's-
see, the double globals really did come important there. But it's now they do not have the double globals for the. They will have both of them. Will most likely be up for the upcoming dragon. But it looks like they are punishing the Ziggs pick with him burning his flashes, having some overextension, and it's gonna become. It's very dangerous for SSU in this position. But the thing to look at is Yasuo is a melee character. If they can use the peel and the utility they have to keep him off of Mitch, keep him off of Humble in these fights. As we see a trade happening in the bot lane, just going to disengage though. The Yasuo does have a 600 gold bounty on him. If they're able to get that onto Mitch or get that back onto Humble, it could allow them to be able to get back in this game a lot easier. But they have to try to find the right fight. They need to try not to overstep or overforce things.
I think that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment on the trade too. But we just see Yasuo did complete his shield bow at like around 12 minutes, so he's very much, and that Night Harvester is completed on Karthus. So they have 2 of their core items right now in time for this upcoming dragon, as they're trying to look for a play onto the bot lane. And if Jerbear does respond to this appropriately, this could be a way for them to get back into the game, as they're flashing on and probably just going to trade summoner spells here. As the Nami wave comes across 2 people with an MF ult falling up, this Lulu is getting very low and he will most likely be taken down, but the kill goes over to the Nami, and SSU trades teleports in the top lane and the mid lane, or trade the Gangplank teleport for the mid lane teleport, and they were able to pick up a kill and stop the play that SLU was going for. As we see another trade happening, but it's just going to fizzle out. And we're looking at the top lane, Yasuo is just going to go catch the wave. Nothing fishy around is going to happen there. And now that's actually very unfortunate for SSU, though, that the kill ended up going over towards that Nami. But they were able to stop some of the momentum that LSU has been building the last couple minutes with that play there, because they used a lot of summoner spells, or they used 2 important summoner spells with that Lulu flash and the heal from the Kaisa. And the Yasuo is staying bot lane, and Arctic does have his TP, but SSU ended up backing, and they're not in position to contest this dragon.
Not at all. And it looks like the second dragon will safely be secured by SLU.
And they have had very good pacing right now on these dragons, that they're in contention to get a decently early soul around the 26-minute mark, or sorry, around like the 23, 24-ish minute mark if they keep up this pace. And Ocean Dragon is very scary if they can get their hands on that soul. But it's also the same in SSU because they have such a utility and sustain based comp. And it looks like they might have done a lane swap in the mid lane, trying to let that GP be able to push his pressure, or for Yasuo to exert some more pressure, but it looks like they're going to go back to same lanes. I think we might see a fight coming up very shortly though, because it does look like SLU is positioning to try to fight and get this Rift Herald so they can start cracking open some of these outer towers. So if SSU has responded appropriately, and the Yasuo is going to be moving bot lane, so looking at this, it's kind of risky for SLU if they, with these rotations, if they can get caught in the rotation, it could be a good pick for Shawnee. But as you can see here, they are just end up scaling up here. And the scaling in this game is in the favor of SLU with the GP and the Karthus and Kaisa. So if they can just hold this lead, it's going to be very hard for SSU as Combo is getting engaged on, and the double ultimates, the double globals coming in again to get that kill pick up on him. And as you were mentioning too, they have to be paying attention to those level 6 marks. As there's engage in the mid lane, Kaisa's most likely going to go down. Lulu ult coming out as Kaisa's going to try to push forward with the kill, and once again, bot lanes fight, and neither of them go down.
What a scary fight in the mid lane. So close on either side.
Yeah, it's very... It looks like Jerbear might get caught out here because he is not in a good spot over pushing his boundaries. Oh, he might just barely make it out here. It looks like he will just barely, on the skin of his teeth, walk out, but SLU is using that early lead that they've been gaining, and the scaling nature, and the fact that they have a lot more mythics than SSU right now, or complete items in general. They're using that to start pushing these leads that they have made and start cracking over these towers.
Yasuo's bounty just went up to 700 gold.
It's a very...
If they could just get that kill onto Mitch, what a game it might be.
That's probably one of their only hopes right now, is to try to get that Yasuo bounty onto Mitch, who is in a very good position to turn the tides of this game around with that massive MF ult. And so it's going to be very important for Shawnee to be able to start peeling him off and using their tools available to try to put this Yasuo down behind, because right now Yasuo is the highest level of the game at 13. He's got 3 levels. Psylocke coming top lane, he's going to be looking for this GP that's very much overextended, and it looks like they're going to be able to pick up this kill. It might end up being a solo kill. Let's see who ends up getting this. I would like to see this give over. I really would like to see that get over to Jeremy, because you don't really need kills on this Scion who's already getting tanky. It'd be very good to try to help Jeremy get back into this game with that kill and getting that gold. And with that pick though, it looks like they're gonna try to start up the Herald here, but in the bot lane of SSU is rolling up. So this Herald, if they're able to crack open a tower, relieve pressure, this could give them an opening going into the 3rd dragon. That's spawning in about a minute. And looking across the board at the items, they're all pretty standard. It looks like Kaisa, instead of opting into a Rage Blade second, she's going to be looking to be going into the Collector, try to get that little bit of execution damage, and get a little bit more burst, because with lethality, it is a very squishy comp on SSU's side. It looks like they're trying to siege up on this bot lane, trying to push down the Humble Game Leader even more, as he's gotten died 5 times, and he's down around 60, almost 70 CS.
He did complete his mythic though on this back.
That's good going into this next dragon. Maybe the Ziggs poke, which he does outrange basically every member on SLU's side. So maybe Ziggs poke can come out to be able to give them an advantage or help them get their edge back in this next fight coming up. And it does look like SLU. Oh, and the game plan goes over the wall onto the Humble Gamer, and he's going to be looking for that solo kill. But with the sustain from the Nami coming out, missed bubble. It looks
Ignite
like
comes out though.
GP will go down, but on the other side, they do pick up that most important 3rd dragon. And now they are looking potentially for a 25-minute solo, as the Yasuo is just going to blast cone to safety. This is looking very dire for SSU. They allow this Yasuo, who's very much a high-risk, high-reward pick. But they're going to try to siege up and take this bot lane tower at least, so they can try to get a little bit more gold. Try to prepare for the upcoming soul fight, because they can't give these dragons up anymore. They can't just give soul for free. So we will see a fight in 4 minutes here for that soul. If SSU is able to take that fight or steal away the soul, it's going to be a very big way to help them get back into this game. Because if they're able to get a couple Ocean Dragons under their belt, they're going to be able to add to their sustain and help minimize this lead that this Yasuo is building, who's at 20 minutes, and he just completed his IE, a very huge spike for Yasuo. And look, It looks like SLU is probably most likely just going to slot the Kai'Sa mid lane, keep rotating this Yasuo and GP around the map, look to use the double global threat they do have and try to pick off Humble in the side lane, pick out the Ivern, and look for small picks that they can use just as a whole SSU trying to get back into this game. And going into this next couple of minutes, there's not really too much that should go on. It should just be a rather just stall out, people catching waves, taking camps, just grabbing as much gold as they can, because everyone's looking to complete big items right before this 4th Drake. And if you can see on that Karthus, if he is able, he should get Rabadons, and that is a very large spike for him. He's going to start putting out massive damage. If he's able to flash into the middle of its SSU's team, he can very much well just wipe the whole team. The one thing to look out for, though, is GP does not have a mythic item at the moment. Mythic items in this new season have very rather inflated stats because they're all incumbents and like important to the builds. But GP is very strong. As Humble Gamer looks like he's just going to end up getting caught out in the top lane again. Once again, overstepping his luck just a little bit. He is looking to complete that Zonia, so maybe that could help in future marks. But every time he dies, he loses more XP and gold to the turrets. And this Yasuo snowballs the game even further.
Mitch luckily there to pick up that wave.
Yeah, is it? Wave not going into the void is a very good thing.
Surprising amount of respect coming up from the Yasuo there.
Yeah, it seems like he is well aware that if he gives over his bounty right before this dragon, that can allow SSU just to get a small enough spike of gold to allow one of their carries to finish off their second item and be at a much higher strength for this next fight. Because if you're looking across the board, the only 2 people that are really far behind right now, or that are in the mid lane and in the jungle. The Karthus has been farming his camps, just cycling bot to top the whole game, and he's picked up 2 kills, which is allowing him to like snowball his late game effectiveness a lot earlier than normal. And there is a goal difference in that top lane, but the thing with Sion is Sion, every time he picks up minions, he gets more health, he gets more of his tanky stats. So even if GP does have a gold lead on him, it doesn't matter in the long run to the extent in the 1v1.
We haven't seen a full team fight yet.
Yeah, so we don't know how these team fights could be playing because it's going to go all down on mechanics here. If SSU is able to outplay SLU, they're going to be able to come back in this game. But SLU knows their win condition. They know if they get this Ocean Drake, it might just be curtains for SSU. And so they've gotten their early vision, but they might be able to get a pick on this Lulu here. As Lulu burns Flash and Yasuo dives the backline, and MF is on the Yasuo. It looks like they're going to pick up the kill on him, and the Yasuo goes down early. Kai'Sa is on the Nami and takes her out. The Humble Gamer is going to fall to the gangplank.
Getting some good damage out.
And it looks like Lulu's overextended just a little bit as Kai'Sa is zoning out the MF as the 2 supportive carries of the Sion and the Sion and the Ivern are combating the gangplank, and Sion gets a double kill here as Misfortune is able to get into the fight as they're looking to take out the Kai'Sa, and SSU picks up major shutdowns and goes 3 for 4. And 2 for 4 in this fight. And
I'd like to see them hunt down. I'd love to see them hunt down the Karthus right here and make sure they can secure this dragon. It would be disastrous if he would come in and steal it.
Exactly. You can already see they're zoning him out, and they're able to. He might go for a cheeky Q to try to steal this dragon here. But Jeremy does have his smite, and he's able to secure it. But now the Karthus is stuck on the other side of the wall. And so if they could get this kill onto Mitch, it's going to be massive for SSU. They do give over the Ivern. That is fine though. They got the kill. They stalled out his back. And so now they're going to lose some pressure on the map right now. And with SSU picking up those gold and all those shutdowns, they all went over to Mitch. Mitch went from being even with his laner to now having a 1.3k gold lead. And you can see that deficit that SSU had did close. as this Yasuo is getting a little aggressive, knowing everyone's going to reset, as he's just going to walk face first into that Scion. Beautiful CC chain by, by
SSU.
Godzilla Flip. It looks like they're going to pick up another kill onto this Yasuo, and Yasuo, all of a sudden, his champion stereotype is starting to come in as he is trying to 1v9 this game, and it keeps giving over bounties to SSU and giving them chances back into this game.
It's important to note that that bounty went onto the Scion. He's only going to get beefier and beefier.
It does look like, hopefully he does pick up a magic resist item, because there is a lot of magic damage on the side. And interesting enough, the GP decided on Drakthar. Normally GPs end up going for that shield bow, or they go for maybe Divine Sunder just because of how well they synergize with his kit, giving him sustain. But he ends up going for Drakthar, a lethality item that doesn't really impact his gameplay too much. He's not an assassin. He doesn't need to worry about diving the back line, assassinating someone, and stalling out with the invisibility. So that actually could prove problematic for SLU, because this gameplay is going to lose a bit of efficiency in these fights with the items he ended up picking up.
His mythic passive does give them 5 ability haste per other legendary that he has. He might be trying to snowball with that, get a lot of Qs out there with that on-hit build that he's working towards right now.
Yeah, so the thing with Drakthar, he will end up doing tons of damage to these squishies, though. It's not going to help him in the 1v1 at all, but realistically, at this point in the game, the GP's not playing for the 1v1. He's playing for his fight. You know what? We might try to see him go for a flash auto and just try to one-hit the Nami, one-hit the Misfortune, maybe just try to dive with the Yasuo, give himself a little bit more threat on the back lines. And looking across the board, we can see Yasuo has picked up a Quicksilver Sash. And the thing with SSU CC is they do have the root and the bubble on their side, but they don't. Most of their CC is from knockups. They have a Nami wave, they have a Scion Q, they have Scion E slow, they have an ultimate from. They have a lot of abilities to keep on applying sustain CC to that Yasuo. Maybe he's able to do a nice quick time and be able to stop the Nami bubble, but that QSS might not become as efficient as he might have thought. But he also did complete his third item, which he did go for the Mortal Reminder to help him shred the Scion a little bit more. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Or to help to prevent some of the healing output that is on SSU, because they do have the double support line up with the Nami and with the Ivern. Now, Nami did go for that Imperial Mandate to try to add a little extra DPS and oomph to her kit and to help deal damage. But they do have that Moonstone that is on the Ivern, and he is at 10 Magi stacks despite his early death, so he does have a lot of speed and utility capabilities, as they're gonna actually sneak this Baron, because SSU is on the opposite side of the map, not respecting the Baron threat of Rabadon's Carthage has and a Kaisa. And this is going to be very problematic, because that 4th Drake is spawning. The all-important soul of this game is spawning in 40 seconds, and they're going to get a nice reset and be able to push the waves in before that dragon happens. But SSU does take priority control of the river, but they might get pinched by this GP, and they could try. Daisy is out early to help control the terrain. They're going to just try to sit up in the river, prevent, and just burst this dragon out. They're going to prevent SLU by having any chance to get this soul. But the GP is in a very big flank position. He's in the back line. He's going to be able to hit the targets he's looking for.
SSU has not spotted him out.
It looks like SLU is walking in here. I think
they did. They spotted him out. They spotted him out.
So GP has to play a little bit more respectfully now. They're going to start up the dragon. They're going to try to burn it down. Scion zone controlling. GP ult comes down the back line. Nami wave comes out to prevent the Yasuo as they're going to pick up the Karthus. Karthus is splashing onto the dragon. Kaisa dives the Misfortune, takes her out. It looks like right now it's a very chaotic fight, and the Yasuo secures the dragon. That's a very big point, because now they do have that soul. And it looks like it will probably end up being curtains for SSU later into this game because they simply don't have enough damage or the items to be able to get through that Ocean Soul. And looking across the map now, it's unfortunate that Bear went down. The Karthus and Gameplank was just way too much zone control. That Karthus flashing into 4 members, Gameplank ult slowing down everyone. Yasuo was looking just to dive onto this Nami. The SLU might overextend just a little bit here as he's going in onto the Nami, using his life steal to sustain, but he does go down to the Ziggs in the end. Karthus ult coming down, going to try to chunk out, doing huge damage to the Ziggs. Ziggs almost going down to that Karthus ult. That Void Staff, Night Harvester, Rabadons is doing massive damage to him. And looking in this next couple minutes, it's unfortunate to say, and I hate to sound pessimistic, but it looks like SSU might fall in this game. They do have options and they do have capabilities to peel this Yasuo to take the fights, but with that soul now being contained, it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to get these kills and take out the members of SLU. Now, if they're able to pick up this extra tower gold, they're able to get more gold onto the Ziggs, onto this Misfortune. It looks like Mitch is going for that GA. No, that's not GA anymore. He does have that stopwatch if Kaisa does decide to dive him again. And so they do have a good team fighting comp with Misfortune R, Nami R, Ziggs R. With all these Rs, they could try to just do a massive team wipe. And LSU has shown that they are a little bit out of position at times. So they're going to probably be able to maybe find an opening as they might be trying to look for this Kaisa here, but they're just going to catch the wave, prevent the tower from being taken.
Looks like Yasuo is going to shove the bot lane as the rest of SLU lines up in the mid lane to try to siege this open inhibitor, or the down inhibitor, sorry.
Yeah, at this moment, I think they're just going to play it slow, walk the waves in, rotate around, try to take the remaining outer towers. And I think they're just going to try to use this ocean sustain they have, face tank some damage, deal some out, and just try to like win a war of attrition with SSU. But they are grouped up, and as we saw, SSU was able to win 5v5s before. So maybe through a good play and good mechanical prowess, they're going to be able to maybe turn a 5v5 fight. SLU is just backing off. Yasuo is going to go into his side lane again. He's going to march the next set of waves down SSU. It looks like SLU has decided to back with awkward timings as everyone's trying to pick up scraps of gold. All of them are backing at different times. So this could allow SSU to maybe find someone that got left behind, maybe find a pick, try to stall the game out a little bit, because they could go for Elder Dragon, thank you. They could go to try to steal the Elder Dragon and use that extra power to force through the fights in this future. Because
Elder Dragon can be absolutely devastating. Even with the regen, the burn helps keep you low, and then once you get down there, the execute damage just feels so bad.
Exactly. That is one good thing when they did that Dragon change a long time ago. Adding that Elder Drake does allow the team that does not get soul, it does allow them to have options to combat that soul if they're able to get that steal down. Bear is 2 levels down to this Karthus, but he has done these steals in the past. He has been able to take that dragons, steal them for his team. And if they're able to steal that dragon and use their team fighting ultimates and their DPS to apply that Elder Drake, they could end up wiping and maybe trying to just do a rush down of the base with the Scion and try to end the game through that. But it does look like they left Mitch out on his lonesome in the side lane as the Nami is just going to use the CC and try to get him out. The Kaisa ult coming in, overextended. The Karthus ult breaking across all 5 members, chunking everyone out, and with that GP ult coming down, taking out that Nami. You see there, this Karthus has gotten very scary with that Night Harvester and Rabadons. literally almost one-shotting members that are at half HP.
509 AP on that card that says SLU lines up to take the Baron here.
He is massive now, and they're just going to do a reset. SSU is going to try to get an early start towards that Drake, trying to hope that they can take that fight with Karthus ult being down, because it should not come back up before this fight starts. So they do have a window of opportunity that they don't have to worry about everyone just taking. I'm gonna see how much damage is this Karthus ult gonna be doing. Right now, it's doing 1,000 damage just from raw stats. That's not taking account Night Harvester adding an extra 220. So every time Karthus is hitting R, he's hitting the entire SSU lineup for around 1,000 damage.
I will say the Yasuo ultimate does a similar amount of damage at 1,014 physical damage coming in. If he hits that on multiple members and then the Karthus ult comes in, there's no hope for you.
And as this fight's starting up, it looks like they're going to just try to burn out the Drake, but there might end up getting pinned around as SLU is wrapping them around. And as they're going to dive around the back line, GP ult on the back line, as they're going to reset off of that Elder Drake, trying to use their sustain, try to build them back up. But now SLU has the control of the zone. They're able to kite them out. But Humble is on the back line, taking out that Lulu. As Kaisa is in the back line trying to take out that Jibber. And once again, the Karthus flashes in. And it looks like SSU is going to fall here as SLU is most likely going to end up acing as Humble is trying to kite out this GP. And now, instead of going for the end, they're just going to secure this Elder Drake. Or maybe they're going to try to force an end here, because they definitely can with the 3 members that are alive. And it does look like, unfortunately, SSU is going to fall in this first game of this best of 3. But they did show that they have the team fighting capabilities. They just have to prevent that early snowball. Yasuo getting that very massive lead basically just caused problems the whole game. So, looking into this, going into this game, if they can prevent Yasuo or the mid laner from getting such a huge lead, they will be able to come back in this series. They just need to watch out into that game.
Seems like some technical difficulties or something. This is very.
So, SLU did take that first game here, but the thing is it's not out of reach for SSU. They've shown that they could fight back. They showed they had signs of life throughout that game. And so going into this game number 2, they just need to prevent that early snowball. If they could have shut down that Yasuo, stopped giving him so many resources, it would have been a lot easier, because a lot of the issues they had in those fights was the Yasuo snowballing out control, using his early lead to push down the other members who were pretty even in their lanes. And so we're just going to have a short break here as we get into game 2.
Welcome back, everybody. So we got the Shin ban and the Nunu ban. Same bans as last time. I wonder if we're going to see that it looks like we're going to see the exact same lineup. Okay, well, the Kaisa ban's new on the side of SSU. Well, SLU ban in response to that. Scion, a very respectable ban. Scion was putting in some work in the last game. The Seraphine ban comes out. The same ban as last time from Shawnee. They are not going to steal our misfortune, are they? All right, seems like they are. Oh, no. They're trolling the casters. They do pick the Ezreal up. What will we pick in response? Okay, pick up the Lilia. Jibber is going to go for Caitlyn, my personal favorite pick. What is Zaga going to pick? They make us wait so long. Really contemplating these picks. Okay, Yumi Ezreal. Looks like it's going to be another slow bot lane. Yone was banned on the side of SSU last game, and they picked it up. SLU picked it up this game. Instead, they opted to ban out the Kaisa SSU. So we'll see how their Yone plays. We picked up the Gragas, which I believe was banned on the side of SLU last match. And now we're into our second phase of bans. The Aurelia ban, same. That's the same ban as they had last match. The Nami ban, they did not appreciate that in the last match. Udyr, I hear, is strong in the meta right now. Probably a good ban. What would the last ban for this match be? Morgana. Does it mean we're going to see some more magic-focused champions come out on the side of SLU? I love to see the big tree man coming out, Maokai. Probably going to be heading up in that top lane. Oh no, not singed. Okay, at least the matchup's a little bit more interesting to watch now. Camilla's scary though. She's a scary, scary pick. And I said Shawnee. I do feel like SLU has picked up a considerably more standard team comp for this match. Gems. Can I get some gems in chat for Tarek? $50 seconds and then we're going to break. Chat. Let's pop off for our boys about to win this match. Chat, tell me who you're most excited to see play. Your most anticipated matchup in this one. I think for me personally, it's going to be the Malachi and Camilla in the top lane. I just love watching tanks slap each other. But let's head off to break. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody.
And we're in here for game number 2. And if looking across these comps, it's going to that SLU's drafted. They are looking for a lot of skirmishes here. They're going to be looking to try to pick off these side lanes, try to get a couple picks before the fight. They do have strong team fighting, but that's also that team fighting is in the favor of SSU here. So what they're going to be looking like to do in this game is they're going to be trying to play through the side lanes. Probably going to see 1-3-1s. We're going to try see setups in the mid lane, and they're just going to try to pull SSU apart. So if SSU is able to dictate the pace of the game and not allow what happened last game, let SLU pick up the pace and have control over everything, SSU is going to be a very good spot to come back into the series. And looking across the board on these matchups, what we can see here is that Lilia it's going to be very much focused around the jungle this game. Keep your eyes on that Lilia. Watch for the plays she goes for. Watch for how she's working the map. Gragas is basically just going to be looking to farm up into this Yone. Same thing up the top with the Maokai. So SSU is really much giving that type side of the map to SLU to focus on that bot lane, focus on pushing Mitch Fortune on this Caitlyn ahead of that Ezreal, so he's able to take over this upcoming game.
Yeah, Lilia is one of those junglers that has a lot of interactions across the map due to her high mobility. Just as like a basic level of speed, she's very, very quick to get around.
Yeah, exactly with that. So what thinking here is that we really wanted to give Jeremy more proactive damage options in this game. He fell behind on the Ivern. Then the thing is that we couldn't really put pressure onto this other jungler who's more of a passive and like sit back type of thing. So giving him something that he's allowed to be able to output some damage, be able to work around the map more, contest and play fights more, so allows for Jeremy to be able to impact the map in a lot more favorable position this time around. We are about to start this game here. The game's a little frozen right now, and there we go. We're in. And so, looking here, we might see another 5-point, or we can maybe some teams. Oh, and okay, it looks like we are definitely getting an SSU invade here with about 5 pings going down into that bot lane. So they're going to be looking to try to disturb the tempo of the game and maybe try to get an early advantage through an invade.
What a fun cast to watch run. We got Gragas waddling and Lilia doing little leaps.
Yeah, everyone doing their little majestic like dances because there's a lot. They're very colorful team. It looks like they're gonna try to find this Ezreal. Oh, and the stun just barely missed. It looks like there's gonna be a counter invade on the side of SLU to look and get some vision to help Shawnee get through this early stages of the game that she will struggle in against this Lilia. Potentially, they're setting up too to maybe try to catch out Jeremy or on his rotation over, and they actually might walk right into the Maokai. And they could find early pickup here as they see him out. Great E by Humble, but with the flash ignite forward by the Jerbear on that Yone, gets the first blood, and once again you can see he got another early kill, and this could be very dangerous for SSU because it could give him the potential to snowball like he did last game and very much command the pace of this game. And with Sejuani starting on the red buff of SSU, that Maokai needs to be a little careful going back into lane that the Sejuani doesn't try to go for a little cheesy gank. Hopefully Jerbear is aware of the situation and he doesn't fall behind camps going to his top side and just sits back and lets and he goes and invades the bot side and split the map apart.
Sorry to interrupt, but that was a really good early trade from the Yone onto the Humble Gamer. Gonna put him at a deficit in HP in the mid lane early on.
Yeah, and with this mid lane matchup, it's very unique in the sense of you really never see Gragas versus Yone too often. Normally when you're seeing Gragas, you're seeing him nowadays in that support position, in the jungle, in top lane. So in the mid lane, it's one of Humble's more unique picks that he likes to bring out. And with an early engage on bot lane, trading out, it looks like the Maokai is winning most of the trades in that top lane as a fight is breaking out, but it looks like it's just not going to amount to anything and trades in the bot lane. It's a very aggro game so far. And the thing with SLU is that they might not respect Jerbear being behind them as they're actually going to try to look to collapse on him while he's in the other jungle. Oh, a beautiful kill. Wait, that might be a kill from Arctic. A beautiful solo kill by Arctic as we go down the bot lane as Godzilla Foot peels off Jeremy and allows for him to get out. The Gragas slowing out the Yone, and it was a very well played fight in that top lane by Arctic, using his W to cancel the Camille E. Camille using the knockback to push her under tower, making her take the 2 tower shots. Jeremy's able to get the camps, and he's going to be able to also get the Skull Crab. He'll look for a little cheeky thing in the mid lane, but Humble does have Flash and his E available. He should just be able to safely walk out though, and he does. The Lilia is on the return though, and this flashlight Yone is exposed, and Jerbear is going to pick up the first kill for himself in the second game here.
There's those aggressive options coming out, like you said, that SSU wanted to give that to Jeremy, and Jerbear goes in, and I think we're going to know who the real Jerbear is going to be this match.
Exactly. Last game, the Jerbear on SLU side decided he wanted to take control of the game and show him who's boss. But this time around, Jerbear for SSU is actually going to try to take over this game and show him why he should have the title of the one true Jerbear. But as things are starting to settle down, with the bot lane lead coming out, there's already a small CS lead in the favor of the Caitlyn, how the lane normally should go. Arctic doing an aggressive trade onto the Camille with its Aftershock. Camille's going to do a return trade with his E. still have flash. Jeremy is in the area, so there is a potential for a gank here because there is no vision for alien zombie on this Camille. And it looks like Jerbear is going to be looking to use Maokai CC to CC him up. The Maokai goes in early, and it looks like most likely the Camille will go down here, get the flash out, and it's just going to disengage. So another very good setup by Arctic Look on this Maokai. Setting up this Camille, putting her in bad situations, getting a solo kill, making her burn flash, and it's going to set her further behind into this game. And if she cannot get an advantage and force side lane options for SLU, the team fighting power that is on SSU side is going to come in clutch for them. Going into the next couple minutes, you're going to be able to see that SSU is going to look for this dragon. They're going to be looking to take it with like the next minute, in the next minute or two. Just a little trade happening in the mid lane. Yone is showing that, you know what, he wins this 1v1 in fighting, but the humble gamer, with his sustain options available on the Gragas, he can just heal up, use his passive, use the corrupting potion he has, just gonna heal up a little bit and just farm out the rest of this lane. And we do see a ping on that Scuttle Crab, and so we might see a small fight break out over it, because it looks like the Shawnee is also rotating into that part of the map. And the thing to look out is that there is a lot of burst options on that Gragas once he hits 6, so he could look to try to force something in this little lead he has on levels right now. As the two junglers are going to be up in the river, they're going to try to fight over this crab. But the Sedge leaning more to his mid laner, just going to let him chill out. As Godzilla Flip is actually taking tons of damage from the Ezreal poke with the Yuumi. As Yone gets an early rotation, he does have his level 6 now, and there might see a fight break out for the Skull Crab, but the bot lane of SSU is not in the favor right now. Humble's going for a small trade onto the Yone. And it looks like they will see the crab here, since of the health difference in that bot lane right now. Once again, Arctic is going for a trade on this Camille. He is winning it right now. If the Camille's not careful, he could fall down to this Maokai. And Arctic needs to be careful too and watch that passive of that Camille. So with these resets coming through, we could see this dragon be taken. I would like SSU to come back and just start this dragon immediately, because they have the item advantage. As we see a trade in the top lane, as Maokai is going to, Camille is going to try to go for a dive on the Maokai and just die. And I don't know what the Camille was thinking of doing there, because she was not... Ooh, and the blue buff exchange actually goes to the Gragas. But the Camille is being way too over-aggressive onto this Maokai. She can sit there and bully him out and farm, but like she keeps going for these risky plays around the turret, taking too many shots, and like just giving kills over. And this is going to favor SSU, because this Maokai is going to be able to keep the lane going against this Camille, because she's falling behind. And going into... I'm very unfortunate to say that I'm disappointed that they did not go for that dragon there, because it was a pretty free dragon for them to pick up. The bot lane on SLU's side did not back in time. They had to reset, and SSU could have snuck the dragon in there with their earlier back and earlier push presence they had. So Jeremy is in that top lane. He's probably most likely going to look for a reset here and head towards that bot side, because SSU has a pretty decent lead in the bot lane right now. So, or not decently, but they have a lead enough that they should try to force a dragon so they can try to snowball an early soul. See more trades in the mid lane, but we've seen this about 10 times. Oh, and it's actually a full commitment by the Yone as he goes for the solo kill on the Gragas, but with the corrupting potions and passive on Gragas, he does just heal through them. With that arm guard, does save his life. And it was a very good peeling back from Humble, not giving kills over to this Yone, because if they can keep him in the position he is in and let the lead start building, and when these fights come around, keep him in even footing, it's going to give them a lot of options. As he does take early River Prio because of Humble being low, but Humble does use the Corrupting to sustain up. Jerberg tags him with the Lilia E. And it does look like SSU is going to take some River Prio and try to get this dragon. And it will be a 4v4 because they do not have the teleports on the top lane. Camille's going to be up very shortly though.
Looks like they're going to engage on SLU, and oh, they do disengage. But in the top lane, it's getting Spicy Alien and getting low to the Maokai. Maokai coming out. Camille just backing out.
She's going to go for a trade because she does have the manage thing, but the Maokai is going to pick up another solo kill onto this Camille. And this is what I was talking about before. Camille giving these free kills over to the Maokai. We see engagement on the mid lane, but once again, there's a Camille. Jeremy does connect the Lilia E, and they're finally able to take this dragon. So they're going to try to start snowballing these into Drakes. But with this latent take at 10 minutes, it's going to take a while for that soul to be a threat on the side of SSU if they would have taken a couple minutes sooner. But a thing to pay attention, SLU's comp wants the 1-3-1. They want to play the side lanes. They want to abuse the fact that they have stronger side lane champions. And it looks like Humble is trading onto this Yone, but he is low on mana. He might try to look for a kill here as he goes in, but the R actually sets up the Yone R that was going to miss, and he does force the flash out as the Sedge flashes forward using her R, and Jeremy is in the position to look to run down this Yone.
That Lilia speed coming.
And he does end up picking the kill, and using his own R, he's just going to be able to walk away. And SSU takes the early aggression this Yone was trying to apply and turns it around and is able to take the kill onto that Yone, putting him a little further behind. And this is another big point that SSU, like I said, and we wanted to see them dictate the pace of this game here. And that is what they're doing right now. They're showing, hey, we played by your rules last time, you're going to play by ours. As the Sejuani is going to look to take this Maokai out, but he's going to just splash away. But the Camille overextends as the TP is coming in from the Gragas, and it looks like it's going to be a 3v2 up in the top lane. And it does look like the Camille will fall to the Lilia, and on the other side of the part of the fight, Gragas looks to go on the Sejuani, but Sejuani being the tank that she is, it just casually walks out. As things are settling down a bit, we can finally see that Jerbear is willing, on SSU's side, Jerbear is finally taking the pressure that he couldn't apply with on the Ivern last game. He is now using apply on this Lilia and taking over the game in the favor of SSU this time around. Ezreal's looking to go forward onto this Caitlyn, but it just casually flashes away as they go to retrade onto the Ezreal. The Ignite coming down by the Taric. Flash forward, but the exhaust from the Yuumi slows him down. And Summer spells using the bot lane amount to all four use the SSU to try to get out of that play unscathed, but only to 2 onto the side of SLU. As the Sejuani is in the bot lane, potentially could look for a gank, but SSU is just going to back off.
They might re-engage with Lilia being here, Ezreal being low. Yuumi, they're trying to heal him up the best that she can, but she is low on mana.
And Sejuani's looking to be a little aggressive here, trying to get into Lilia's face a little bit, as Humble is going for a trade, using his E aggressively, and the Camille roam allows for a small kill to be picked up. Humble did not have a bounty on him, but that kill going over to Camille is going to help her combat the Maokai just a little bit better. Because even though Maokai has a very sizable lead, as there's a trade in the bot lane, net coming down on the Ezreal, nothing's going out. As they're going to try to do a dive onto Jerbear here, being flashless and Lilia, and that shutdown going over the Camille. That is huge. That lead, that Arctic was building up in the top lane, is getting nullified a bit. Camille's probably going to be able to back now. Looks like she is going for Divine Sunderer. So she is going to be able to pick that up and finally start to be able to abuse this Maokai a lot more, because he's not going to lose his lead. Because her damage is percent health, so the later it goes, the more and more favor it goes to her. As there engagement on the Maokai by the Yone, but Maokai is using his Sim to kill off. Camille goes in on the Maokai, uses his E to get out. Humble is looking to go in, as it's a 3v2 right now. Maokai's going in to get the kill onto the Yone as they try to dive the Gragas, who lives. Caitlyn ult coming through onto the Camille. Get this kill over Jarrett, and that shutdown that Camille picked up from her plays in the mid lane gets put onto Jerbear. SCSU responding to SLU's aggression with their own, and they're going to try to take that advantage they just got in the mid lane and try to convert that into their dragon.
Camille is definitely one of those characters that I think it's very wise to suppress early on, because if you can't contain her, she will spiral out of control, and she will become such an oppressive force for the enemy team.
And that's why it's good for SSU here, getting these kills early, getting an early lead. It allows for them to be able to shut down the Camille, no matter what point she is. Because if the Camille is behind a carry, or she's behind this Lilia, she's not going to be able to do that one shot that we see Camille's do all the time. She's going to have to take time to take them down, and they're going to be ahead of her, so they're going to be able to apply DPS and take them out. And with this Tarek, if he can time his R well enough, as a bunch of saplings go down the Yone, and SSU is prepared to just start this dragon up, and it looks like the dragon is free, just going to go over to SSU for free, so they're going to get their second Drake of this game and try to snowball that into early soul point. Now, if it is a mountain dragon, that is going to be very scary for SLU, because they got, if they can get some beefiness behind these carries, it's going to be very hard. That extra resistances are going to be very hard for them to be able to try to burn through. As the game, it's going to slow down. It is a Cloud Soul, so that's actually unfortunate on SSU's behalf, because if they were able to get a Mountain Soul, it would completely shut out the comp that SLU has. But with it being a Cloud Drake, they do have good ultimates for a Cloud Drake though. Having the Tarek up as soon as possible, or having the Tarek R up as much as possible, the Gragas picks with his R, as they're looking to try to make a play onto this bot lane, but they just simply don't have the wave. But they are looking for it, as the Ezreal did E forward. He does flash away, exhausted down, but they do end up picking up the kill on the Ezreal, and with a dive, it's a wonderful play of switching that aggro. Gragas does end up falling, taking 2 many turret shots, as a shutdown is picked up in the top lane. As all that was happening, Yone took the 1v1 with Arctic and took him down. A shutdown going over to Yone is very dangerous for SSU, but they did pick up a tower in the bot lane and 2 kills that went right onto the Mitch, one of their main carries.
Yeah, Yone, I want to just point out, Yone has Kraken Slayer, which definitely did not help Malachi in that top lane scuffle.
Very much didn't. So it does look like they are definitely trying to play for the sideline. The Barry, who it is, if it's the Maokai, Gragas, Yone, and Camille are going to be able to combat them and try to play that 1-3-1. But SSU does have massive leads on 2 of their main carries, in that Lilia and that Caitlyn. With her picking up the shutdown and that tower, she does right now have an 1,000 gold lead over up on that Ezreal. So if they could try to keep that lead and try to move this Caitlyn around the map, start letting her get her siege potential on and take these outer towers, SSU is going to be able to substantially take that gold lead. As the Ezreal is actually is most likely going to fall down here, as he is so overextended right now. As you can see, the Lily and Caitlyn both looking for him. He might be able to try to do sneaky things to get out of this situation, but he most likely will just end up falling here. He's going to try to go a trade using the Essence Reaver to get onto that Ezreal, or onto that Caitlyn. R comes down, and he just ends up falling in the end, which is another good pickup onto Jerbear. It's going to allow him to look for this Zhonya as that option he's trying to go. As the Yone does look to go forward onto the Taric, and ends up getting another kill as he's turning his attention to the Gragas. Sedge coming in, going to CC him down. Yone goes in, Camille walks in too, and it looks like they're going to end up picking another shutdown up, and Yone gets 3 kills. And this was the danger factor we're talking about SSU. They had to keep Yone controlled, and this Yone is trying to take his title back right now, picking up 3 kills, and trying to turn this game back around into the favor of SLU, as they do, from all those kills, end up taking a gold lead.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And so looking at the side wave, now it's going to be basically near impossible for anyone to side lane against this Yone. No, he's going to be able to, he was already able to kill everyone, but now he has all these kills onto him. He's going to just be able to, he might potentially be able to just dive the Gragas. Because Gragas is yet to get his mythic item, he doesn't have his Zhonyas yet, so he's very much exposed to this Yone. And he's just going to go try to clear out the wave, just farm up. He's got to be careful. Look, they try to get a little cheeky kill on him, try to get the Gragas R, try to get his shutdown on him, as they are trying to look for him, but he's just going to walk away. Now looking at this, Dragon is spawning in a minute, so SSU is moving that Caitlyn into the mid lane with Katara. Gonna try to get the early push on, so they're able to convert into a third dragon and threaten a Cloud Soul. Now Cloud Soul isn't too dangerous on SSU's fault. It's really only good onto that Maokai after he gets that movement speed to help him follow it up. But it does give that all-important cooldown reduction. And it does look like they early rotate Arctic down here because he is TP-less. But with Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, Jerbear is top lane right now. So hopefully he can start making his way down to that bot lane so he's able to be a part of this Dragon so they can take it as fast as possible. And the side lane threat I did mention in prior lobby is top lane right now, as the Camille does have TP up and is split pushing before this fight. She's most likely going to end up getting that tower too. But Yone did use his E and the Dragon to spawn, so SSU could try to burn the Dragon down. It looks like they're just playing footsies right now, but they need to make a decision because Camille is still hitting that top lane and has a sizable wave. And they're going to start up the Dragon, and SLU is instead going to take that inner lane and try to get something in the mid lane as SSU takes the Dragon.
We see some early backs coming out.
It's really good, a good heads-up play by SLU. They might try to force a Baron here with Yone's lead, with everyone resetting. But dangerous TP coming out by Humble. Hopefully he can try to get out of here, but the Camille is in his backline and interrupts over the wall. And it does look like the Gragas is going to fall, but Yone does come back right onto the Terra. Terracult coming down, going to keep him alive for a little bit longer as Jerbear is starting to apply the Leandries and the burns. But SSU gets their comp peeled apart by the dangerous nature of SLU's. And SSU was just not coordinated there. They were they sent in the Gragas way too early. Gragas falling down at the beginning of that fight just basically allowed SLU to just run over the remaining members that stayed alive. And they're going to end up picking up the Baron, and that gold lead that was in favor of SSU for a while has switched over, and it's going to turn into an almost 5k gold lead for SLU, and they're going to use this Baron, and they're going to play that 1-3 strategy that they drafted for now.
5k is a tough gold lead to come back from, or gold deficit to come back from.
And if we do look across the board though, the gold lead is actually, it's really much just in the favor of that Yone. Right now that Yone has about a 3,700 gold lead over the Gragas. And in the top lane there is a 1,400-ish gold lead in the favor of Camille. So the Caitlyn has a 700 over the Ezreal. That's going to be the main point of contention for this, for these fights coming up, because most of the gold is into that Yone. So if they're able to use Taric, use Maokai, pin him down. The thing is here is that maybe they're not aware, but he does end up going Rocket Bell. Camille actually is countered by Gragas. So if Humble does play this right, he could try to look for pressure onto this Camille, but he also is behind in his own way. And Sedge is looking to rotate up as they're going to try to shove down this last outer tower. Hopefully Humble respects the dive that is a capability here and just gives this tower. That does look what he is going to end up doing as they rotate over. They're going to try to knock out this last outer one so they can start applying 3 pressure. And as we were talking about, Yone is top lane right now, trying to shove down that wave on that Maokai. Going for a trade onto him. He's actually going to fully commit onto the Maokai, and the Maokai W takes him back with the Yone, and Arctic falls as they go for an engage, dive from the bot lane. Terracult comes down. It's going to allow Humble to be able to get out alive. Jerbear is looking to sweep up the Yone, trying to use his Lillia movement speed, kite him out, and try to pick up this kill on the Yone as Yone's going in. And they're going for a dive onto Humble with that Terracult being down. A cast knocking everyone away to try to stop them as they continue to follow it up, and they take out the Caitlyn too. And it looks like their SSU is starting to fall apart a little bit, unfortunately. Now they're still in this, still can try to get the soul. Jeremy's looking for a kill on the Yone. Yone's looking to turn around with the Ignite. Jeremy has to back off because it's too low as they pressure the inhib. They look to take down that tower as Arctic is, or no, sorry, that was Camille, not Arctic. With that back, they're going to try to continue this pressure and try to take out all 3 of the remaining inhib towers, but they're going to go hard on the Maokai, force him out, try to see if they can burn anything. And it looks like slowly with this Baron buff, they're going to try to choke out SSU. And SSU is trying to recover right now, try to protect this last inhib so they can prevent the double supers. They're going to go for the fight here. Arctic is in the background, gets bursted out. Ezreal only hits Caitlyn. The Yone goes in to dive onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn barely lives to the sake of a Taric heal. And SSU for now is able to protect this inhibitor as Humble goes to looking for that Camille. And with a cast, it knocks away the Yone, and they pick up the kill. As he hits a 2-man sleep, he's going to try to pin down the 2 members as they're going to take out SLU, who was there for a little bit too long. And now they're able to get some gold back, and the dragon spawning in 30 seconds. And if they are able to get this Sejuani, it will be, oh, and the E goes the wrong way by accident. But Camille is on the backline taking that last inhibitor. So even though they do get the fight win, they do go 3 for 4. Humble's going a little bit too aggressive. He's gonna back out now. They will end up picking up Cloud Soul. Maybe it's enough to be able to turn around. Sejuani is in the wings trying to maybe go for a cheeky steal, but Jaren Bear is gonna just sniff it out and just gonna scare him away. Oh, Jaren Bear left the pit. And, okay, so we'll go over. So they do pick up the Cloud Soul, and that is very good for Maokai and that Taric, because once they pop their ults, you're going to be able to try to follow up on the CC. But the thing is now is they're going to maybe get choked out because they are down all 3 inhibitors.
Yeah, there's so much forward vision on the side of SLU. It's going to be tough for SSU to get out of base just through the sheer amount of minions that are coming through, and even if they do, they're going to be spotted out almost immediately for whatever direction they want to go and try to contest whatever objectives they can.
Now, a good thing here is that SSU was able to take their camps before they left their jungle, so there's not really much on the map for SLU to take besides get some Baron control because it is spawning in a minute. And in the meantime, SSU is kind of just taking all 3 waves uncontested, so they're getting a lot of passive gold income right now that SLU is not able to get because the waves are just dying to the supers. So SLU is losing gold in the process right now as they're finally entering the base trying to push down. Camille is nowhere near the fight though, as she is just taking jungle camps. And it looks like they're just going to try to back out and take the Baron as it spawns. Now, I would like to see SSU just keep on farming these waves, try to push them out, because I don't think they can walk into this jungle that's very much contested in SLUs at the moment. And it looks like they're trying to set up a little death brush.
I do feel like they're just going to have to concede the Baron. I don't know how you can, feasibly leave the base with any semblance of force,
Yeah, so hopefully they are able to push out these waves a bit, because that is going to be the danger coming into the next couple of minutes, is that SSU is now going to have to worry about 3 waves of super minions that also have Baron. And as you can already see, they're going to try to go in on the Taric, and they're going to burn out the Taric before his ult comes down, and it's already starting out to a 4v5. It's going to be very hard for SSU to be able to peel this Yone and Camille off of them now, because without that, as Humble goes in trying to look for the Taric, or sorry, the Yone, as they're going to try to pick off the Yuumi who got detached and CC down, as they're going to try to scrap out this fight. They're going to take out the Yuumi but lose the Maokai in the process. A bunch of ability utility going down as they're going to take the tower. They're going to try to kite it out as Jaren Bear goes for a huge sweep. Takes out the Yone, able to protect him. Camille in the backline does take out the Caitlyn though. And Jaren Bear is most likely going to fall here. And unfortunately, SSU is going to fall 2-0 to SLU. As Jaren Bear tries to pick up a couple more kills. Oh wait, maybe is the gate up? Super Minions ended up caking the base with Baron. And unfortunately, enough, SSU does fall into moving to a 2-2 record.
It was still an awesome match to see.
Yeah, because you could with this, you were able to see that multiple teams, or you could see that SSU, they were very much strong and capable of combating them, but in the end of the day, they weren't able to use their early lead. They were able to get it. Unfortunately, was not able to shut down that Yone and Camille combo that just kind of picked across their backline. But they did show a very promising performance against this team. They showed that you know what, they were able to combat them, and it wasn't just a free game in the end.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see future matches and how they keep pushing forward.
Yes, I think we're all looking forward to that because they showed another strong performance here. Unfortunately, going down 2-0 fashion. We're gonna cut to a short break and get an interview with, I'm pretty sure, Arctic Wolf in the top lane and the Humble Gamer in the mid lane. And so we're gonna just take a short. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with the interview with Arctic Wolf, the top laner, who had a very good day here, even though, unfortunately, the games fell 0-2 in the favor of SLU. Arctic did have a good time today in the top lane. So, Art, how did you feel coming out of those games?
It was truly a bummer. I tried my best, and just sadly, the tank meta is just no more, or hasn't been for such a long time. So even if I get ahead, it's very hard in later games.
Yeah, because we did see in that matchup, though, because in that Maokai versus Camille, I know in the past you have struggled in that matchup, but you did show strongly that you've learned that matchup well and were able to stifle her down. Where do you think it went wrong in that second game, though?
So I think we just let them slowly but surely get ahead. We had such a big lead, but then I know for sure one of the times I let the Yone get one of the kills on me. I did not notice he had Kraken Slayer, which surprised me. So he killed me, and then Camille got 2 picks, and it just kept on going there. Just kept on going downhill from there. Just picks and picks and picks.
Yeah, it was a good showing though in that second game compared to that first game. It was really rough on your guys' end. You really couldn't get your footing. You couldn't find anything. But in that second game, you were able to use the abilities you have to be able to build up a lead. So it was very good to watch.
Yeah, I think we learned a lot from the first game, and we put a lot into what we learned into the second game, but just needed to apply more pressure, use our lead in better ways.
Mm-hmm. So, is there anything you would like to say in Twitch chat? You want to say anything to the fans that are watching this game?
Well, thank you all for supporting us. Keep on messing my name up. I think it is disintegrated to PB&J Arctic Whale by this time, but hopefully, as long as I do well, I get called by my normal name. But if I fail, I'll take the name change.
Thank you, Chase. So that will do it for week 4 here for the SSU's league team. It was a very unfortunate fall. They fell to 2-2, but we saw a strong performance.
Yep.
See everyone later.
Thanks again, Arctic.
See ya.
I grew up making games, so I wanted to make a career out of that. Shawnee being a small school was the thing that drew me to it. Shawnee is nationally ranked in the Princeton list for game design. A lot of the professors own their own businesses. That kind of prompted me to start my own business. I started a game studio. I don't think that would have been possible if the school were bigger, and Shawnee put that all together for me. I'm Dalton, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Please visit discover.shawnee.edu.